Yo, what is up, everybody? Chris here from Big Sports News, back at it again with another video. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys a quick recap of what happened during Sunday's matches, as well as what you can expect going into, of course, today's matches, that being Thursday, Stage 3, Week 3, Day 1. Of course, looking back to last Sunday's matches, we kicked things off with the Paris Legion taking on the Florida Mutineers. You guys know I was backing the Mutineers to win this one 3-1, but of course it went the opposite way. The Legion won 3-1. They took the Garrison Hardpoint 250 to 218. They looked really good on the Gary. Mutineers almost made the comeback, but close but no cigar. Of course, map 2 was Moscow S&D. It went to around 11. Mutineers won this, and of course, the control was raid control, and the Legion won at 3-1. They looked really good. You guys know I was favoring the Mutineers to win the control, especially in this matchup. But Paris came out hot and they won it. Of course, in the last matchup of the series, the last map of the series, it was Moscow Hardpoint, and the Legion blew out Mutineers on this one. It was 250 to 119, and Mutineers really just couldn't get anything going in this series, and it was a rough one for them. Not really too sure what's going on with the Mutineers this year. They just made the roster change, bringing Havoc back, of course, in place of Slacked, but maybe it wasn't the right move. Of course, they played decently well with Slacked before. Not great, but they played decently. And now they're just really nowhere to be found. So we'll see how they look going forward. But as it stands, it's not really a great showing for them, considering this is really the time of the season where they were looking to turn things around and kind of cement their team, right? They don't want to keep making roster changes and grasping at straws. So, Florida's in win now mode, and they really got to figure things out before the stage concludes, so they can really have a decent run at the major. Of course, in our next matchup, we have the Minnesota Rokkr taking on the Toronto Ultra. Minnesota took map 1. Of course, Toronto took map 2, that being Checkmate, Search and Destroy. First map was, of course, Hardpoint on Raid. That's a good map for Ultra and a good map for Rokkr lately, so that was kind of a toss-up. Checkmate S&D, of course, Ultra, as you guys know, I've been very high on their S&D for good reason. They haven't really lost many of them lately. I don't think they've lost any since the Stage 2 Major, but, excuse me, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Of course, we saw a Garrison control, which we haven't really seen much of lately. Ultra took that 3-2, as we all expected. We expected them to walk away with the control. Minnesota's been a solid enough control team lately, but not lights out. And Ultra's been lights out and everything. So that was kind of what we expected to happen. And of course, the Apocalypse map 4 was 250, 135 in favor of the Ultra. They closed out 3-1 as I expected them to. In our last matchup of the day, our marquee matchup, we had a super huge upset. Of course, LA Thieves beat Optic Chicago 3-1. They beat them 250-205 on Checkmate Hardpoint, which is one of Optic's stronger hardpoint maps. Then Optic won the Express S&D 6-3, which was a great showing for them. They're continuing their momentum in Search and Destroy, which is really the more important game mode to have the most momentum in. As we know, the Optic has always been a really good respawn team. It's just their fundamentals kind of go out the window sometimes. Of course, in the control on Raid, the Thieves took this one 3-2, and that was kind of a shock to me. Optic has been a really good control team all year long, but this Thieves roster, they're just hot right now, man. They have the hot hand, so I don't know. I don't know what their ceiling is or what their floor is, but we'll have to see at the major. I think they can make the run. They're currently #1 on the table, as you guys can see on the screen right now, and we'll see if they can keep it up. Of course, in the last map of the series, it was Apocalypse Hardpoint, which Optic hasn't played much, and they haven't really looked too great on. And the Thieves took it 250, 117. Thieves have been a very strong Apocalypse Hardpoint team, so this wasn't much of a surprise. But you definitely hate to see it if you're, like me, an Optic fan. You guys know I also like the Thieves, but my Optic roots run deeper, so a little bit frustrating to see them lose 3-1 in that series. I thought Optic would take it 3-1, but they just didn't play to the best of their abilities, and that happens sometimes. What are you going to do? Of course, looking ahead to today's matches, we kick things off with the Rokkr taking on the Gorillas, and I like what I've seen from the new look Gorillas personally, but I think the Rokkr are the better team. I think Rokkr win this one. I think it's a 3-1 in their favor. I think in the hard point, of course, and the control, they are just too much for the side of the Los Angeles Gorillas. We saw the Gorillas really, they got turned all the way around in their last control against Dallas, I believe it was. And the hard points weren't too pretty either. So I think Gorillas are in for a tough series here. If I'm being honest with you, I think they take map 2 though. So I would say map 1, Minnesota Rokkr, map 2, Gorillas, map 3, Minnesota Rokkr, map 4, Minnesota Rokkr. Call it a day there. In our next matchup, of course, our last matchup of the day, we have an absolute banger. We have Optic taking on the Subliners. You guys know who I'm repping, right? Like, come on, it's obvious. I'm taking Optic here. I think Optic win at 3-1. I think after the LA Thieves series, they're going to be pretty pissed off, and they will have gone back to the drawing board. And I think they're going to match up well against this New York team. Even though they added Hydra into the rotation, they're still working things out, and New York is beatable, right? They lost to London, who Optic beat pretty convincingly, and they beat FaZe, but FaZe also was kind of throwing in that series, from what everyone has told me. I didn't get the chance to watch it. I was getting my vaccine, and I was kind of groggy. So I think Optic walk away with this one. I think it's a 3-1. I think Optic take the hard points. I think they also take the search. I think New York probably do take the control, and I think that's how it goes down. So we'll see what happens. Maybe someone steals a different map along the way. Maybe New York takes a search or something, and Optic take all the respawns. We'll see what happens. But as it stands, I like Optic search lately, so I think they win map 2. I also think they win map 1 unless the vetoes work out in the favor of New York, in which case I could see this, of course, going in their favor map 1, and then Optic wins search, they win the control, and they win the subsequent hard point. So yeah, guys, I'll just about wrap it up for me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this with a friend if you enjoyed it, or you just want to get them in a competitive COD and want to kind of give them a little teaser as to what it's all about. Sorry about the gameplay in the background. I had to use some old stuff. I haven't really been playing at all lately. It's final season for me, so been grinding. Just wanted to get this quick video out to you guys. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the COD later on this evening, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. So hope you have a great morning, noon, or night, wherever you may be on this beautiful planet. And once again, this is Chris from Fake Sports News, and I'm signing off. Peace.